Okay, I decided just to do this one. I could have done the one above the sink, but I wanted to get it just in the middle of the kitchen somewhat. Alright, I'm going to take this. I got the light switch off. I always like to make sure that the light switch is shut off just so I don't electrocute myself or something sparks or something. I'm like, uh-oh, what happened? You know, I've got to take this and I'm just going to screw it in. Make sure you put it in straight, you know. I got it snug. Now, theory has it, when I turn the light switch on, this is going to go on. Shall we test that now? You know, I can push this up in there right now, too, if I want. And these nibs, there's certain little bits. Remember how I put these cans up with the little tabs? I want to kind of situate these prongs probably in locations where I can slip it up easily without hitting anything. Okay, I'm looking here and it looks like I could probably do it right there. And there it is. If I push on that, I should be able to push it up tighter. But for the time being, I can have it down a little bit off of there so when the painter gets here, he can pull this down. See, next week, when I get here to patch this, I'll just loosen that like that and unscrew this, and then I can patch this without this being in my way. Okay? I look up there again, make sure I'm not hitting anything, and there it is. Okay, the moment of truth. Should we turn the light switch on? You saw the work that I did up in the attic. You saw the entire project. If you haven't, I've got videos on all that kind of stuff. Alright, I'm not even going to shut it off. I have not tried this yet. Now I'm crossing my fingers. When I turn this light switch on, that light's going to go on. I hope it does. Here it comes. 3, 2, 1. Alright. Man, that scared me there for a second. It was one slight little second. Did you notice that? One slight little second before that light went on. These are LEDs. There's probably a little module in there that has to heat up ever so quickly before the light goes on. Let's just see. And it might be just for the first time when it turns on. I'm going to go ahead and turn it back off. I'm going to turn it back on. 3, 2, 1, on. Now see, there was just a slight hesitation there. And that's probably because these are LEDs. And they're all probably going to do that. I'm going to turn my, my construction light off and see how much light this gives us. I was kind of curious to see, because they say it's 75 watt compatible. You know, it's supposed to give you the equivalent of 75 watts. And with the dome-shaped light, you know, the can lights, the old style can lights, your incandescent bulb was up in the can a little bit, so it mainly directed your light straight down. Whereas in this case, you've got the glass around the side, so your light is cascading to the left and to the right, both directions, and straight down. And I think I'm glad that we installed at least 4 in this little ceiling. Now see, the ceiling is not that long. But our thought was, I wasn't sure how much light one of these LEDs was going to give off. And with just one light, it doesn't look like there's that much light. So that's why I'm glad we did 4. And we also did one above the kitchen sink. Okay, we got 5 lights in this kitchen area, and I think that's going to be plenty. And our thought also was, hey, if it's too bright, let's put a dimmable light switch in the wall. So next week I'm going to install that dimmable light switch, and here it is. It's a paddle on, off, and then there's a little nib right there, and you push that up to get it bright, and then to dim it, you push it down. Now there's different styles like that. There's one with a dimmer right here, up and down, and you click it off, or you can turn a little paddle here and then do it. Okay, so there's different ones, but the important thing is, if you get a dimmer, you want to get one that works with LEDs and CFLs. See, this one here, CL, I guess that, I don't know if that means it's compatible with CFLs and LEDs, but here, you look here, works with dimmable LEDs, CFLs, halogens, and incandescents. Okay, so it pretty much fits the whole gambit. And so at night, if they want, they can dim these a little bit if they're not working in the kitchen, just for some glow. Or if these lights are too bright, let's say you put in too many lights up there, some cans, and you want it dimmed down just a pinch. Well, you can do that with this dimmable light switch. And it kind of cleans it up. That light switch over there on the wall now is at least 30 years old. It's the old style. It still works. They could leave that one. They don't have to replace it. You know, this one here, I don't know how much this was. At least $20, I'm guessing. Okay, so that's all we're going to do on our project today. Now I could go up there and put these other lights and do the same thing as that light, right? I could do that if I wanted, but I'm going to choose not to. And when the painter comes here, he doesn't have to pull them all down and unscrew them and all that. It wouldn't be too terrible if he had to do that, okay? So there you go. We're getting pretty close to getting done with our electrical project, aren't we? In fact, we are. Once we get the painter over here, painters like to do, they don't like to cut in around lights. And a tip, if you're repainting or something, if you can get your trim down, it's much easier to put a roller up there instead of having to cut around each individual light fixture and getting paint on there. Plus your roller adds a different type of look than a paintbrush. Okay, so a few different reasons why we're going to leave that trim down. And yes, I'm going to have to come back here again when the painter gets done, but that's all right. I can bring it to you. I hope you learned something today. Hey, that's it. But I'll be back with more videos.